Before we dive into today's episode, have you grabbed your free copy of the Female Body Awareness Kit yet? If not, girl, you are missing out. This isn't your average PDF download. We are talking juicy checklists, hormone-friendly hacks, and real-life routines to help you feel in sync with your body. Whether you're navigating PCOS, endo, or just not quite feeling like yourself. This week's Friday wrap-up, we're diving into the podcast that's got everyone talking. Chris Griffin's chat with Wade on The Pocket. Now, if you've seen the clips floating around, you already know the vibe. Bold claims, old school gender roles, and a whole lot of noise about what women should or shouldn't be doing. But we didn't stop at the headlines. We have now listened to the whole episode start to finish. And my gosh, there's a lot to unpack. From the idea that women shouldn't work unless they want to the suggestion that their main role is to bring peace and calm into a man's life. In this Friday wrap-up, we are sharing our first ever honest reactions to the clip that we've put in the show notes. No deep dive just yet, but trust us, next week we're coming in hot with the full debunk. But for now, this is a moment to zoom out and ask, how did we even get here in 2025?
Hello, how's everyone going out there? Ames, how are you this morning?
I am great, Brittany. I am living the dream.
Are you ready to rumble for Friday wrap-up?
Friday wrap-up?
Does that take you back?
My God. Thank fuck we don't have any more Friday wrap-ups, that's for sure. I love how you're like, how is everyone doing out there? I can just see like an empty stadium.
Well, you know what? It's similar to when you were like speaking to people, you're like, everyone's sitting at home, but like everyone's listening to me. I know they are.
What I used to say on the Post-Human Juicy Girl Group podcast, like, all my audience being my mum and my dog. I was like, and my mum didn't even listen to the podcast.
I was going to say, it's probably still going to be the case. It's probably going to be our aunties, our mums, our cousins.
I know. Not my dog, so sad.
Yeah.
God bless him.
It's okay.
I know.
At least we're sending some sort of message out there, you know what I mean? Even if it is only a handful of people.
100%. Mate, we're going to be number one Spotify podcast in Australia in the next couple of months. Manifesting that. Maybe me and you can just, fuck it, we'll just create a vision board. Just put it on there.
Mate,
but no,
I don't
want to
see what that vision board looks like.
Yeah, I feel like your brain would hurt.
Oh my God, it would explode. First of all, like you standing in front of, okay, yeah. And then we've decided all these ideas, and by the end of it, you're like, you know what? No, we're just going to be true to ourselves.
Oh my God. Oh shit.
Does that explain you perfectly?
Yeah, you know me way too well. Like, I'm actually quite scared. Oh, fuck. Oh, shit. Oh, anyway. Oh, shit. Anyway, we, God.
Let's keep going before my voice goes.
I know. All right. So my mate, yesterday I was having a conversation and she was telling me about some like viral thing that happened, like these two guys who have this podcast, like they've got a pretty decent following. It's like 80,000 people or something. I'd never heard of them before. I don't even know.
What are they called?
They're called, bear with me, the Pocket Podcast.
The Pocket. I'm just writing this down for later.
So, well, it's called, the Pocket Podcast with Chris Griffin. And she's like, oh my God, you have to, oh my God, I've just realised, how fucking crazy is this? His last name's Griffin, and he also has an Alfie Gets Hard episode is live on all platforms. I don't know who Alfie Gets.
Okay, so do you have a similar thing with this guy named Griffin last time and Alfie Gets Hard?
No, it's...
Do you resonate with him?
I just realised how that...
You're like, oh yeah, it's Griffin.
Oh my God. No, shit. My dog was called Alfie.
Okay. This is getting worse by the minute. Just shush. Go on to the next.
Oh my god. Anyway, so let's just make, I have no relationship correlation with this Alfie gets hard, whatever. I've never heard of him in my whole entire life. But ironic, Chris Griffin, I'm Eamon Griffin, and my dog I was just talking about was called Alfie. Anyway, moving on. Shit. Anyway, my mate was saying, have you heard about it? And I'm like, no, I'm not a scroller or anything like that. Not to say that you have to be a scroller, but she was like, oh my god, are you serious? She's like, it's blown up that they were talking about, like, women, like, if she doesn't want to work, she doesn't have to work, and was talking about how, like, he wants to be, like, the breadwinner. Like,
you mean like 1950s kind of stay-at-home wife?
Yeah, like...
I mean, some people like it, and each to their own.
100%, but like nowadays, like coming out and having that, like, yeah, anyway.
Mentality.
Yeah, and I was like, nah, I don't know what you're talking about. Anyway, she tried to find it, and this was yesterday. I think it had happened the day prior, and they deleted it.
So why did they delete it?
Well, because it's had such a massive, like, uproar. Like, there's been a heap of people, like the girls on, what's it called? Just Cut? Is it the Ink Uncut?
Yeah,
the podcast that the Kick podcast, they've done it also, like, the girls who are doing a podcast. So that's why I was like, oh, do you know what? I haven't seen the video yet.
Life Uncut podcast.
Life Uncut, right? I was like, she was telling me, and my blood was boiling, but I was like, oh, I've got to show B. So
have you watched it?
I haven't watched it yet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I'll send it. I'll send it to you now. Let's watch it.
Okay.
And then we can decompress.
Okay, sounds good. Juicy.
Juicy.
I don't want my partner working unless she wants to work. If you feel the need to
unless she wants to work.
If you feel the need to go and work to make money, and then you come home and you're complaining about your day when we don't need you to make money because we're sorted. If we've got 4 hours to spend in the afternoon and I ask you, how was your day today, babe? I want your eyes to light up with excitement with whatever the fuck it was. I collected 4 postcards today.
And that's energy too.
It's the calm, it's the harmony, it's the peace and love that a man that's got a busy life that's chasing his dreams needs when he's trying to wind down.
It's the piano music underneath.
Oh, okay.
The music is there to lead you to believe, and it is insightful, and it is thought-provoking, and it is beautiful and wholesome, right? It's absolutely not. I really want to unpack this conversation that's happening online at the moment between the masculine and the feminine. This idea that there is a masculine energy, things like taking action, achievement, logic, assertiveness, whilst feminine energy calls into things like intuition, receiving, nurturing, compassion. And the problem with this is that he has gendered those energies, right? He has said masculine energies are for men, feminine energies are for women. The reality is that every single person has this complex duality between masculine and feminine energy. And that is the antidote to toxic masculinity. Recognizing the fact that men can also have an incredible presence of feminine energy. Recognizing the fact that women can have an incredible essence of masculine energy. These two dynamics were never meant to be gendered, and everybody is supposed to encompass both. But what he is teaching and what these ideologies teach is that men have one and women have the other, and unless they are leaning into their feminine, then they are not fulfilling their role as women.
I don't want my partner working unless she...
Whoa. We gotta literally pod that. We should post that in our community chat.
Yeah.
That is crazy. Do you know what actually annoys me about it? Is he's only thinking about the man. He's only thinking about how men feel. And obviously he wants to go to work. He wants to feel exhausted. He wants to have all validation. And then you've got his wife needs to be happy and upbeat when he gets home and pretty much serve him. It's actually crazy.
It's just reminded me of a crazy story. And I saw this firsthand. So they're like, this is not a bullshit story. So when we were younger, obviously our whole family lives in the UK. we were very grateful enough that my parents' dad had a little side business to ensure that he could pay for us to go over and, you know, see our family. We had gone to, like, my cousin had a friend at the time who, so him and his brother, right, before, like, they'd obviously get up and go to school. And I'm talking, like, we were in primary school. He had dictated to his mum that, because his mum would wake up, get them ready for school, pack their lunches, cook them breakfast, blah, blah, blah. And he had dictated to her that she had to have a shower, be dressed.
What?
Yeah, be dressed, and I've got goosebumps, and wear makeup to get them ready for school. I forgot about that. That's just reminded me.
Oh my God, so that's filtering down.
Yeah. And also, like, she did it as well. Like,
That's actually crazy. If my husband treated me like that, like, to be honest, like, if I'm tired, he has to be tired. Like, that's just always the way with men. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, they have to be worse off. But if my husband treated me like that, I'd be like, see you later. I can do whatever the fuck I want to do. I've come into my relationship with him being a hardworking woman. So I'm not going to change my way. Not that I'm saying he is, but I'm just going off that topic. To bow down to another man because he needs to feel good all the time and he needs to have good energy, and the woman has to give, you know, good energy back. Stuff like that.
and
Entitled
like,
to your own feelings.
I think, like, there's so
And we're not
many
in the
wrongs.
1950s either.
No, like, there's so many wrongs to that. Like, what they've said. Because I think, like, every relationship is different, right? As you mentioned before, you know, like, I've come from a family where my dad was the breadwinner, and my mum, that was a decision that they had both made, that mum was going to stay at home and bring myself and my sister up. But it was always Brit, teamwork. And listening to that ideology, that's not teamwork.
I wonder where he gets that from, and I wonder
Yeah,
why
that's
he
actually
thinks
a
that's
really good
okay
question.
to say
That-
on
yeah.
social media. Like, his emotional intelligence must be so bad to actually say that on a podcast, for that to air on social media, and think that he's not going to get any backlash. Like, his brain, yeah, I can't even.
I mean, who knows? Like, I mean, again, and, you know, like we've said, you know, we're all for unfiltered conversations, you know,
Yeah.
you can do that now in 2025, and, you know, people can say whatever they want. Great. But, like, the thing is there's, like I said, there's so many wrongs to what they've said in that conversation. Like, a relationship, you know, whether or not it's a male and a female, it's two males, it's two females, even friendships, whatever it is, relationships, it's coming together, and it's having teamwork. That there is no teamwork whatsoever. It's like, I've said you don't have to work, so we've got it sorted. But sweet,
There's a lot of eyes.
if I've given up that freedom or I've given up all of that so that you can, you know, stay at home and collect postcards, what the fuck?
And what makes them
like-
think it's freedom? Staying at home is not freedom. Like, I can tell you right now, I'm home now. I've always done all the cooking. I've always put all the washing on. My husband's very domestic. Like, he'll, like, clean. He'll also come home and, like, tidy. So I can't complain about that. But, like, I've done majority of it. And I used to work full time. So now that I'm doing it at home and I'm not working, I don't actually know how I had time for it. No wonder I was, like, run off my feet. But I can tell you right now, it's not relaxing. Staying at home
No.
isn't relaxing. You actually find more shit to do. And, like, when you have kids, it's even less relaxing.
I think as well, like, I just lost my train of thought.
Like, I don't watch Netflix and chill, as they would say. Like, I don't sit there. I don't even watch TV until nighttime, and sometimes you get distracted and you end up going to bed early.
But I think there's also like a key thing there. You've frozen on my screen, but I can still hear you. Can you hear me? Yeah. The fact of the matter, like, and I think I mentioned it in our previous episode. We've shared it in our community chat, but I might actually share it in the share notes because it is an incredible audio book, and it's called Invisible Women, and it's all about how this world is like designed biasly based off like men, and it talks a lot about like the unpaid labor that a lot of females go through, which is based off, obviously, all the work that gets done at home with the cooking, the cleaning, and all that type of stuff. I think you made such a good point, Britt, of being like, the curiosity of where is he getting this from? Like,
it filters down. Like, you just don't get up and think that. Like, that's embedded into you, I reckon, that mentality. And, like, I think even when you grow up, you see other men treat other women like, hey, can you get me this? You do that. You make sure you cook. Where's my dinner? Like, the way they've worded things, you know, when you're younger, you kind of see that. But then I think that's filtered off over a long time ago, over the last couple of years, a lot of years, that you don't really see it anymore. So when it does come up, it's like, shit. That's really degrading.
I'm befuddled. I like, and again, it's not, like, again, like, relationship, teamwork, coming together and making that decision. And, like, you know, I think the respect that you have for your partner, right? If you have a mentality like that, my God.
Well, I would love to know, one, how old is he? Secondly,
Is he
does he have
single?
a partner? If he has a partner, how long has he had that partner for? It'd be interesting to know those three things, because I can't see someone dealing with that kind of mentality.
Nah.
I mean, there could be, you know, those certain people out there that love the nice handbags, the lovely whining and dining. Is that the type of woman he's looking for? Like, it's hard to kind of know what he's putting out there. But from what he has said, it's just 50s housewife, don't you complain, you pretty much bow down to me, in a nutshell. But maybe what he's saying is he wants that kind of girl that kind of wants to have everything but then bow down. I don't know.
Have you ever been, like, from previous relationships, or do you know anyone who has been in that type of situation before?
No, like, I've known people to be in relationships where they get jealous and they're not allowed to go out and they're not allowed to wear certain things, and they end up, like, pushing themselves away from their friends, etc. But I haven't seen, like, anyone kind of get treated like that, no. I think every relationship, like, that I know probably there's still like a, as you said, teamwork of like, hey, I'm going to be doing this tonight, or I'll do this is what I'm better at. It's like anything. It's like a job. Like, you're better at doing certain things than what I'm better at. I'm better at doing certain things than what you're better at. So we kind of like work together to make something perfect. Do you know what I mean? So I suppose that's where, well, not perfect, but you know what I'm saying. We work together to get the best outcome. It's like, as soon as Brent comes home, I try and make sure I've done all of his prep for his meals for the following day, because he's working all day, which I get. He's then coming home and there's a small window before Billy goes to bed. So I don't need to do those things, and he doesn't expect me to, but he's grateful when I do, because then he gets to play with Bill for a little bit before he goes to bed. He gets to play dinosaurs and, you know, do all the fun stuff that the dad wants to do, because he's missing out on so many hours of the day. So that's like working together as a team in order for us to have quality time as a family together. But do I do that because he's told me to? No.
Do you know what as well? I just like had a thought because like, you know, obviously there's been so much backlash, that amount of backlash that like it's been deleted, and a lot of that. And again, I'm coming through, like, I haven't deep dived into the social media side of things and stuff like that. So like I'm looking at it from a very, very skeleton view. But it looks like, obviously, like, we're talking about it. There's a lot of big podcasts out there who are talking about it, all being females. The issue is like the, you know, these podcasts with females, you look at their audience, majority of them are females. You look at our podcast, our audience, majority of them are females. We can stand up and go, yep, cool, you know, this isn't right. It's 2020. Well, it wasn't even right back in those days, but even now, more so. But like coming from obviously a male-dominated industry like we have, we've seen that, yes, we've come far, but we have still so what's the saying? So we've got so much more to go. I can't even think. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear.
Do you know where I'm going with this?
I'm just waiting for your brain to go with your mouth.
Yeah, we've come far, but we have so much more.
Like, we've got so much further to go.
Yeah, thank you. I don't even think
okay.
that's it. But anyway.
No, mate, I'm normally on that end, so that's fine.
Yeah, can't think today. But yeah, I think it's like we've, you know, experienced certain things or been in scenarios where, you know, the degrading of females is still there in 2025. And okay, cool, great that, like, you know, when it's happened to ourselves, we've said certain things and we've stood up for ourselves. But not every female is doing that. And I think that, like, that's where the concern comes in, and that's where the backlash has come in so much, because for one, for them to say that and to have that mentality, especially nowadays, is just fucked. But the second thing is like, you've got all this, like, toxic masculinity with this, like, Andrew Tate and all that type of shit, which, like, again, I'm not into, like, as in I haven't dived into it. But it's like, what's happening there as well? And I think it's like, again, it's coming together, like you said, like, as a team, and not looking at, just looking as the individual as unique, you know, like in any type of relationship, in any type of friendship, you're going, okay, cool, what are your strengths? What are your weaknesses? How do we come together and create an incredible force? And like, yeah, there are going to be days where, you know, you're going to be low and I'm going to be high, and vice versa. And that's where you have that conversation. Hey babe, like, I'm not feeling 100% today. I need you to help me with this, you know, I need you to push this. And I think,
or is there something else we can do? And
100%.
Jump back onto the podcast another day, you know.
Yeah, 100%. And I think, like, you know, that comes from a relationship, that comes from trips, and I like it is so dangerous that those comments with such following.
Was that the whole podcast and he was saying that, or was he repeating what somebody else was saying?
No, so that's a clip from the podcast.
Okay. Well, that was a good little topic to talk about, Ames.
Very good,
well,
Brittany.
Not good,
sorry,
but like, I suppose
hot on
yeah,
the
hot. Definitely a hot topic.
So let's listen to it, and then maybe, you know, if we can talk about it in particular, and we can see what type of conversations me and you can have. Yeah,
nice. Love it. So we'll wrap it up. That's the week done, guys.
It's another Friday wrap up.
Another Friday wrap up. Except for ours seem a lot more positive, happy, delightful.
Yes.
And I know he said he doesn't drink, but I tell you what, since we started this podcast, I only had one drink this week, and that's not me. So I think I might have to have another drink.
You go and have another drink. I love that. Can we kind of suggest that maybe this podcast is a form of therapy?
Yeah, I think so, because I've only had one drink this week, because I've been, you know, ticking, my mind's been going, I've had to think of things, as you know.
Yeah.
In the background, so it hasn't really, like, focused on that, but, like, tonight, since we're going into the weekend, I'm definitely gonna probably pour myself a Prosecco.
What just quickly before we leave, what would what's your drink? Well, drink of choice, Prosecco, but like what Prosecco are you drinking?
I do love Piscini.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That's probably my fave at the moment. I do like Del Zoldo.
Never tried that.
And I just like the normal one as well. You know, the one with the girl on it and the bathers. But that's like a little bit of a backup, I would say.
Right. So what's
But
the
if
go-to
I'm going
tonight?
champagne, if we're talking champagne, like if we're going, if Verve isn't on sale,
Yep.
which it's normally Verve,
Yep.
it would be Mum. I hate
Mum.
Moe. I hate it.
Do
I reckon
ya?
it tastes like vomit.
I don't mind it. I mean, you give me kind of the Dom Perignon
Oh,
vibes.
I do like a bit of Dom Perignon. Brendan and I actually, we went out to restaurant, what's it called, Society in
Nice.
the city. And I think my Dom Perignon per glass was like $20. But it was delightful.
I mean, Dom can never go wrong. Do you know what I
No,
mean? It
in
can
so many ways.
never go so many ways. All right, great. Well, you enjoy your Prosecco tonight.
Well, you know what? Like,
What?
are we going to post this in the afternoon? Because, like, next time what we'll do is we'll have a drink. Even if it's a morning, no one will know. And we post in the afternoon, they'll think it's in the afternoon, you know?
Yeah, I'm for that.
Yeah, nice.
I'm for that, babe.
Okay, guys, we'll see you next week. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Before you head out, don't forget to download the Body Awareness Kit. It's free and filled with tools and support we know so many